The throne room was silent, the kind of silence that has weight, that presses down on your shoulders, that fills your lungs until breathing becomes something you have to remind yourself to do. She stood at the entrance, scroll hidden beneath her robes, against her heart, and she breathed. The high priest spoke first, as she knew he would. His voice was smooth, practiced, like water moving over stone, wearing it down, so slowly you do not notice until it is gone. He told the pharaoh that a temple scribe had been found in the restricted archive. At night, reading documents she had no authority to read. He paused. She should be given the opportunity to explain herself. The words were reasonable. The tone was reasonable. His eyes were not. The pharaoh looked at her. She had imagined this moment 1,000 times, in 1,000 different ways. She had imagined being afraid. She had imagined being silent. She had imagined collapsing under the weight of those eyes. She was not afraid. She was not silent. She reached beneath her robes and placed the scroll on the stone floor before her. The entire court went still. This scroll, she said clearly, was hidden in the restricted archive. By me, by whoever wanted it never to be found. It contains a confession, written by the hand of the pharaoh, about the death of the previous council elder. A death that was not what it was reported to be. Silence, complete, absolute. The kind of silence that only exists in the moment before everything changes. The high priest moved, smooth, immediate, like he had rehearsed this exact moment. "This woman is a criminal," he said. "What she holds us is a fabrication. She should be removed immediately." But something had shifted because the scroll was on the floor, visible to every official, every priest, every scribe in that room. And some of them had already seen the seal, the pharaoh's own seal. On a document the high priest was calling a fabrication. The room began to murmur. The pharaoh raised his hand. Silence fell instantly. He looked at the scroll for a very long time. Then he looked at her, and she saw it in his eyes. Just for one moment. Not anger, not denial, fear. The pharaoh was afraid. She was removed from the court that same hour. The scroll was taken. She never saw it again. 3 days later, her name was removed from every temple record, every archive entry, every scroll she had ever copied, as if she had never existed. As if she had never read, as if she had never spoken. The guard was reassigned to the furthest border of the empire. That same night, without explanation, without farewell. But here is what they could not erase. The murmur in that throne room, the officials who saw the seal, the priests who heard her words, the scribes who were present when the pharaoh showed fear. Truth does not disappear simply because it is forbidden. It moves quietly, from mouth to mouth, from generation to generation, in the spaces between the official records, in the silence between the written words, in the gaps that no pharaoh and no high priest has ever been able to completely fill. Her name was never recorded. The scroll was never seen again. The guard was never heard from. But something changed in Egypt after that day, quietly, slowly, in ways that could never be officially traced back to one woman, standing alone in a throne room with a scroll at her feet and the truth in her voice. No name, no record, no monument. But you now know what she did, and that is more than they ever wanted you to know. Forgotten legends. The secret keeper, the final chapter. Some truths cannot be destroyed. They can only be hidden.